Hello everybody and welcome to another video on the channel, and in today's video I want to talk about the recent graph the developers put out talking about PvP and how they expect each school to perform within the combat model. Now, if you don't know what a combat model is or what any of this means, basically they're essentially saying if each school trades hits, what schools do they expect to come out on top at the end of it. For example, if every school trades a 6-pip hit, at the top they would have I don't know, Storm for example, or 4 pips they would expect I don't know, Death or Storm, just for example, right? That's how their combat model works, and that is the context behind this screenshot, and that's very important. Okay, so I'm gonna put the screenshot up on screen right now. Now, I'm gonna be honest, guys, this is really sad to look at. If you play PvP and you see this, you're gonna know this is a bunch of bullshit, and this is literally the quite opposite of what happens actually. So this is the schools the developers expect to be doing the most damage, okay, and win trades. Okay, now I'm gonna put a clip up on screen probably of my fire playing a balance when my fire is actually set for balance and he's still losing that trade. Because again, according to the developers, you're supposed to take these hits and you're supposed to be ahead, but I don't think that's how the game works, unfortunately. So I'll take that because I'm supposed to be ahead. I'm supposed to want to take trades and do more. Okay, so I do 3140. Probably not the exact same amount, but close to the same amount. Way more than it should do. Nope, the same amount when she's got 2,200 more health than me. She's set for myth, not for fire, okay? So I'm 90% sure I'm set for balance, and she still did more damage than me. Let's check. Let's just check and be sure here. Oh, look at this. I'm set for her, and she is still doing more damage than me. She is still doing more damage when I am set for her. Look at this. She didn't even have fire pin. I have 810. I have a whole pin for balance. And it doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. She still does more damage when I'm set. There's tons of examples of this right now in the meta. And the stat balance, just the more you play the game, the more apparent it becomes. Something still is not working with their system. Okay, now, this is just kind of sad to see. Myself and a lot of people, we're just laughing our asses off. And you probably are too. If you play PvP and you're looking at this, you're probably just laughing your ass off. This is not what happens. So, I want to talk about this graph in the video and break down why this isn't the case. There's a couple of reasons for it, okay? Primarily, you cannot expect every school to use the same pip hit. For example, right? If I use Catalan on a Storm, but the myth uses Stone Colossus, they win that trade, even though I'm a Storm and they're a myth. They still win that trade, right? You can't really account for that in your combat model. Or sunsetted cards, legacy cards, poison, frostbite, mana burn, right? That stuff can't really be accounted for in the model because you see balances mana burning 80% of your health away, or going for a Hydra that does as much as my fire shad, stuff like that. So there's a combination of each school having different meta pip costs. Again, 5 pips for Catalan and Catch on a Storm, 6 pips for Stone Colossus on a myth. Or take Minotaur TC, for example. That's just better than Catalan because you can simply hit around a shield and still do nearly the same damage, right, in terms of DPP. So really, really good there. Or look at, TC hits as well, right? Look at Sun Serpent, right? Sun Serpent is in the game, but Calendar and Storm Owl got banned. Frostfang got banned. Sabretooth should be banned as well, and Serpent for that matter, but that's not the point. There's some spells that are accessible and meta for some schools when the other ones simply don't have access to them, right? On a Storm, I don't have a good 6-pip like Ninja Pigs, or I don't have a good 6-pip like Stone Colossus, right? Or I don't have a good 10-pip like Sabertooth or Sun Serpent on a Storm. I don't have access to that, right? I'm not trying to make this whole video about Storm. Again, it's just the easiest school to pick on because it's the worst one right now at max level still. However, I'm just trying to illustrate the point where if KingsIsle is not going to enforce their own rules and standardize everything, their current combat model stat system isn't going to work. And we're going to see disconnects in the community between developers and players at an all-time high. And this graph simply shows that, right? The worst schools, arguably, right now in the meta, are the top 3 schools in KingsIsle's game design development mind. Like, what? What do you mean, bro? What do you mean, brother? Now, Rapbeard has come out and said he doesn't think it's a stat issue. He thinks it's more of a library issue for schools like Fire, Storm, Ice even, right? And I do agree with that to an extent, but I also think it's a problem of, again, legacy cards. Like, we're talking about Frostbite, talking about Poison, we're talking about not every school having a good 10-pip TC inside. So I think things just need to be standardized, and I think maybe you can improve upon the library for, you know, Fire, for Storm, for Ice, right? I don't think they have, like, terrible cards. Like, again, as much as I complain about Storm, you know, Caddy's pretty good, Catch is pretty good, Teacup is okay. It's still bugged 1 year later, but you know, there's still some okay cards on a Storm, is my point. But then you have a bunch of other junk, like Storm Shark, Lightning Bats, Thunder Snake, you know, Stormzilla, horrible, Triton, bad heal counter again, right, on a Storm. Just really not good cards. And now I'm aware every school has a couple of these cards that aren't good, but again, when you numerically break things down, right, you could look at Death in this case, right? Wraith is really good. Vampire is really good. Banshee's the best, like, blade counter in the game. Fool's really good. The only bad card Death has in their library is Dark Sprite. And even then, you could honestly probably use that in an okay time and maybe make it work with, like, a Vampire combo. So I am aware every school does have a couple of bad cards in their inventory. But again, when you look at Death that has maybe 1 or 2 bad cards in all of its library, and then you look at Storm or Fire, which have, like, you know, rank 1, 2... 3, 5, and, you know, a couple others just all being unusable in dog water, right? Again, that further enhances that that discrepancy between schools, right? So you have a Death that has, you know, better TC than Storm, for example, with like Poison and shit like that, and Wraith TC, right? You have better library on a Death. You have better cards on a Death. You know, you have better, you know, shield Yambits, stuff like that, right? So, all those things just really, really add up. And that's honestly why I think Fire's not bad right now in the meta. I know it's, like, not amazing. It's, like, I'd say it's, like, A tier, like, number 4. But Fire's not bad right now in the meta. And that's because you can put, like, a free inside, Sun Serpent inside, Elephant's, like, a really good card as well on a Fire. Your stats aren't that bad as of the Wallaroo update. They're not that good when you compare them to, like, Death and Myth, obviously, but my point is you still have, like, a couple of okay cards on a Fire in the TC. So I think it's a combination of the 3 things. Legacy cards not following your own rules, and TC just not being standardized. And obviously, stats are still a problem at 170, right? For example, Storm right now struggles to even get max accuracy on mono school, so you cannot be expected to even bother dual schooling on a Storm for like Banshee or Earthquake or Centaur, because you can't even get your main school accuracy. So how am I supposed to dual school? Which again, indirectly makes my school worse because I'm worse against more schools since I can't dual school and they can, therefore they'll have a higher win rate, right? So I think this isn't just, you know, a simple case of just looking at the graph and making fun of it. I think it's just, again, a bunch of little things that add up. You know, poor stat balancing, TC being banned for some schools and not others, not following your own rules with frostbite, poison, right? Library, right? Spellmint's library. Death is just like the best library in the game, along with balance, arguably, right? And then you have schools like Storm and Fire, where their library is literally like dog water, unusable, and you're not packing 75% of the cards of your school on those schools. You're packing like maybe, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe 4 of the same card, and like a lot of copies of them, like Catalan, like Catch, like Teacup maybe, right? And then, you know, a couple of Gambits, right? So again, I didn't want to make this video to be too negative. I think it's really funny that, you know, the top 3 schools at KingsIsle in their mind are the top 3 worst schools right now in the meta. Like, you could make the argument for. So I think that is a little funny. A lot of people, you know, that do PvP do agree that this is literally like flipped around as of what the meta is. So I think it's honestly pretty funny. I don't really think I need to say anymore. I think I said everything I had to say for this video. But what do you guys think about this screenshot in the comments below? Do you agree with anything I said? Do you disagree? What do you think they should do to fix the game? Personally, I'm obviously not really playing Storm anymore because the school is just unplayable. But I'm having a really good time on Fire and Myth right now. I haven't maxed up my Death yet for 170. I'll be playing a lot of Death though. But Fire is really fun to play right now. Myth is really fun to play right now as well. And yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, y'all.